Hey friends, this is Jordan with O&Co Games. In past devlogs, I've talked about visual details that most players likely won't consciously notice in our pixel platformer Tethergeist. Things like checkpoint animations and nuanced platform movements. While people might not necessarily notice little details like this, they can still feel the difference when they're not present. And when we start talking about how a video game feels, it's hard to finish the thought without mentioning our favorite video game buzzword, immersion. Immersion is a big deal. To try to put it simply, a video game that exhibits immersion is one that has compelling experiences that draw us into the world and story of the game. We feel immersed in the experience. One of several methods to achieve immersion is to make the visuals of your world come to life. And it doesn't necessarily take fancy graphics to do that. The experimental simulation game Papers, Please is a great example of this. The way characters shuffle around in line or walk in and out of frame helps bring this game to life visually, all within the constraint of crunchy pixel art. Similarly, you can look at how the smoke and fog billow throughout Limbo, or how all of the characters are moving and dancing in Cuphead. All of these visual elements help make these games feel more immersive. Needless to say, immersion is very important to us as well. So in this devlog, I'll be walking through some of the details we've added to our pixel platformer Tethergeist to at least start scratching the surface of making our game more visually immersive. So let's first talk about the particles in Tethergeist. Whenever the character touches a checkpoint, collects nectar, projects her spirit, or even pivots on the ground, we include little particle animations. Some of them are simple sprites that just show up, like the dust animations associated with wall slides and wall jumps. Others, like the sparks from the checkpoints, have actual physics baked in, allowing them to burst and bounce when they hit the ground. Some of the more complex particles actually follow what the player is doing to make them feel more interactive. The particles produced by the spirit, for example, follow the speed and direction the spirit is going. These dust particles in the air actually interact with the player and slowly drift whenever she bumps into them. These pollen elements near these red flowers are designed to lazily float and fluctuate in opacity. Each one of these elements have their own unique logic that we've meticulously coded to help bring our world to life. Another visual element of immersion is in the player herself. As the central focus of the game, we've put a lot of work into making her feel visually alive. At the time of this devlog, she currently has 16 unique animation states that are used throughout the game. We have animations for jumping, falling, extended falling, pivoting, wall sliding, wall jumping, running, walking, squishing and stretching when she lands, sitting, and honestly, several more animations we have yet to build. With all of these animations working within the game, our character feels much more organic and lifelike. Another visual element of immersion is in the biomes we're creating. Each chapter of our game will have a unique biome with its own ecosystem and aesthetic. Chapter 1 is the only one that's anywhere near finished, so that's what I'll focus on first. You'll notice in this biome, the rocks, plants, and ruins all follow an intentional color palette, and the world itself reacts to the player. These rocks light up whenever she splits into her spirit. These birds hop and fly away whenever the player gets close to them. This smoke, as mentioned in a past devlog, subtly reacts to the player's movement. With all of these things in place, we feel like our biome in Chapter 1 is feeling pretty lifelike, pretty immersive. Anyway, that'll about do it for this devlog. A lot of what I covered here are things that have been in the game for some time now. Some of them are of course very new, but I just didn't know how to include them in a normal flow, and it made sense to me to organize them all into a devlog of their own. Hopefully this video has given you a glimpse of the meticulous work we've put into this game to make it the best experience we can. We've got plenty more to share, so as always, please subscribe, join our Discord server, and wishlist Tethergeist on Steam to stay up to date on our progress. We love this game, and we're sure you will too. Thanks for watching.